He's got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was the song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar award-winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk. You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's Vader time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at The Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
What up, Truth Nation? It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace, here, the host of Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am excited for the next 58 minutes because we're going to bring y'all a lot of fun, a lot of entertainment and reaction to the stories of the day. And as I told y'all, I said, listen, the last couple of days, we've been talking politics, policy, and how things impact us, right? Like yesterday, I just had to let y'all know about what was going on with the fact that Donald Trump was trying to be a sanctuary country for white South Africans who aren't struggling, who aren't being oppressed whatsoever, but he was just sympathizing with people that look like him. But today, we're going to talk about something that really has to do with Milwaukee. But I told y'all before here on Truth to Power is I was going to have a guest for y'all. So this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to go to YouTube. Go to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Yes, 101.7 The Truth on YouTube so you can see who we are going to have as our special surprise guest for today. So I'm going to give y'all a little time right now. 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure y'all hit that like button. For those who love when I stand up, I was told by DJ Brother Z, I can't stand up when I have guests, so I got to sit down today, so I'm going to be moving and grooving, but it's going to be great. But I'm going to give y'all a little time right now, and also do know, y'all going to want to chime in on this conversation, because we can't talk MPS, but 833-212-1017 is the talk text line. I see y'all coming in, so now I'm excited, because like I said, when I decided I was going to do this show, they asked me to do it, and I said, there's only one way I do it. If I can elevate other great black voices in Milwaukee. You heard this great black voice for about the last month on Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. You heard this voice filling in, and he did a great job. And I said, I got to keep bringing this man back in. So I am excited to have no other than Dame LZ joining me here today. Welcome, Dame. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Milwaukee. Good afternoon, Truth Nation. Good afternoon, my brother Kyle Wallace. Thank you for bringing me back. on the afternoon hours. See, they listen to me in the morning.
Yeah,
and not too many people. I only been in the afternoon a couple times.
Only a
My
couple.
energy is, you thought I was hyped in the morning. I'm finna be like Randy Macho Man Savage.
You're a little bit more awake, huh?
Yes.
Well, that's what I love to hear. I love to hear. I'm so excited to have Dame, man, because listen, every time I heard Dame on air, Dame is always passionate. That's one thing me and Dame got in common is that when we talk about topics, we can't just have a simple discussion. We become passionate about it, right? Colorful about it, because we care about a lot of different things. And so today what I want to start off is, we were talking about it before the show. We couldn't even get through it because Dame already had his thoughts and his comments about it. But the big story for today that we're going to talk about, there's two things. We're going to talk about MPS and the selection of their superintendent. And boy, oh boy, I listen. Y'all know what I do is I educate and inform, I give facts. And I sprinkle in my opinion. But everything will be based off of facts, and I make my opinion off of facts. And I want to let y'all know why MPS has failed once again with supporting our black students, and I'll tell y'all why. But Dame, before we get to that, you are a hip-hop head. Right, you are a music head.
Yes.
And we have seen the lineup for Summerfest. Yes, the Summerfest lineup 2025 is officially out. Summerfest made the announcement early this morning about who will be coming. You do know Summerfest is one of the partners of 1017 The Truth. We gave a ticket giveaway last week to go see the Isley Brothers at Summerfest on Juneteenth. But the Summerfest lineup is out, and typically, as every year, we always give our thoughts and our feedback. Now, for me, when I saw the lineup, I have expectations, right? I'm like, all right, I know I'm going to get a couple hip-hop acts there, a couple of hip-hop acts there, over there, maybe some R&B. So I saw T Grizzly on there. I love T Grizzly. I saw Boss Man D-Lo on there. I mess with Boss Man D-Lo. I like the beats. I don't really listen to his music or what he's saying, but I like the beats of it, right? Offset, I'm a fan of Offset. Last time I saw it, when Offset was here, I saw him when he was with the Migos, Migos, and I saw them when they were at Summerfest years ago. Now I think that was like 2015, 2016.
But Offset by itself is a draw?
Offset by himself, I'll go see him, right? Because I'll listen to his music. So for me, when I look at it, and also, I like the Killers. I do like Meg Thee Stallion. My girl loved Meg Thee Stallion. Last time she was at Summerfest,
so that's how many hip-hop groups you name?
I named maybe 5, 4.
No, you didn't.
Boss Man D-Lo, T Grizzly, Megan Thee Stallion, and then Offset. I named 4.
Offset 4.
I named 4 that I'm going to go see that I like.
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yes.
Who is going to see Bone Thugs and Harmony in 2025?
Maybe people your age. I don't know.
Don't throw me under the bus like that.
I don't know. Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Bone Thugs and Harmony, they almost live on 24th in Wisconsin. So that's 5.
Okay, that's 5.
Then we got Fabulous. Okay, that's
Fabo, Fabolous.
And then there was one more I'm missing. It was like 7.
There is Mike Jones. Who?
Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean,
now
they hooked y'all up.
Y'all can already hear where I'm going with this.
Let me hear.
Let me just give y'all who I am, in case y'all don't understand who I am and what I do. My name is Dame Elzy. If you chat GPT me, it's going to talk about, because I heard them yesterday talking about that. But if you chat GPT me, it's going to show my hip-hop roots in Milwaukee.
Oh, wow.
Deep.
Look at that.
They strong.
Did you chat GPT yourself? I've never done that before.
Yeah, I heard them on the radio yesterday doing it, and I was like, let me do it. The first couple of things that came up was not to my liking, so I did it again. I got more specific, and stuff started coming up. Anyway, you'll see what I do. I'm also a part of Hip Hop Week, MKE. Me and my man Khalif, we was just texting this morning about that. Shout out to my man Khalif, Alderman Russell Stamper, all of the people that have been involved with Hip Hop Week. You mean to tell me that as Hip Hop Week in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with the budget that we have, we are able to get more hip hop artists to come to Milwaukee than Summerfest? Supposed to be the largest festival in all of the world.
The world, Craig.
You got 3 different weekends, and you got 7 hip-hop artists. Okay, Megan Thee Stallion, she big money. I understand that.
Flo Milli,
that's cool. I understand that. T Grizzly, cool. That's 3. You could have brought any number of people. You could have brought down south, Sauce Walker, Benny the Butcher, all of these people that we have brought. We didn't bring Sauce Walker, we wanted to. But all of these people that we have brought for Hip Hop Week. You could have just repeated that if you wanted to.
So when I think about it, Dame, I know a lot of times when we talk about it, it's like, oh, well, you know, there's a certain crowd that they don't want to attract down at Summerfest. That's why they don't ask for certain artists to be there. Is that a weak thing?
That's ridiculous because those same people that they're talking about, we've had them at Hip Hop Week. We've had Babyface Ray. We've had the local people.
You said Jadakiss came?
We had Jadakiss. We had a whole lineup. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
And Summerfest has top-notch security. They top-notch. They on duty.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for you to be saying that as a fear. That's like when Walgreens saying they closing down because of thefts in the inner city, when the truth is they just don't want to be in the inner city. Summerfest just doesn't want to deal in blackness and doesn't want to deal with hip-hop in general, so they give us 7.
That's
then spread them out. Now, my brother, you was telling the story, and also, I'm not hating on Summerfest because as a member of Black Elephant, I have performed at Summerfest on some of the biggest stages. I had a 10-year run where as Black Elephant, then it was my man Prophetic Profeezy, my man Yo Dot, then with Twine Mac, and then with then just recently. I've been through Summerfest, right?
Yeah.
I understand how they can be. But if I can't call them out, who can?
Yeah, that's true.
Because I respect them and I support them, and if I can't call them out and then they not listen, who can? They could have came to us and be like, do y'all have some suggestions for us?
And that's the one thing I think, because I know Summerfest is definitely tapped into things going on locally on the scene, on local scene, music scene, but then on top of that, when there's other events happening around Milwaukee, I know they tapped in, right? I know they got connections. And so my thing is this, is that when I look at it selfishly, right? Like I look at how many days am I actually going to go to Summerfest, which I encourage everybody to go to all 9 days of Summerfest. But I have been so programmed to believe the reason why we don't have more acts at Summerfest that represent our culture, that represent us, that appeal to us, is because of the fact that in the past there may have been some incidents that may have occurred, or I even know like thinking about what happened at State Fair. Wow, they got rid of Rise at Summerfest years ago now because people didn't know how to act, right? Yes. And so I personally have been programmed based off what I've seen and when I grew up during that time.
You know why I don't go to Summerfest no more, unless I'm performing? Because I'm always getting into it with some white guy that wants to spill beer down the back of my back. There's always, so don't come to me and with it's us when the same thing. If you listen to if you ever watch licensing for Summerfest and you listen to the incidents that happened down at Summerfest, it is a litany list of stuff that goes on down there that has nothing to do with you and I.
Yeah, I think
what I'm saying?
Maybe that's the lie that's told. So
it's ridiculous.
So I mean, I think this year, I mean, I feel like we need to, because I'm a big proponent of Summerfest. I know you enjoy Summerfest as well. Enjoy Summerfest as well. I'm glad we have this, but I think we always have the right to ask for more, right? Like as Milwaukee being, majority, because I believe we make up like 41 or 42% of the population African American, and this happening in downtown Milwaukee, I think we have every right to ask for more acts that reflect the population or that are of interest of the population of Milwaukee. I think, again, I personally applaud Summerfest because I see things that I like, but I also get that you have people who don't see things that they like, right? And I feel like they are always open-minded to suggestions and trying to get new things. And I feel like we have a voice and we should utilize our voice regardless of how great Summerfest is. We can always be looking to make it better.
I think Summerfest a lot of times puts the first list out and then they'll see if people make noise like they did last year. And then last year it was like towards right before the actual dates, some people got added, and it made it more spicier.
Well, there's one more headliner that's going to headline on July 4th that I'm interested to see. Because
let's see who it is.
Because typically what they have is they have 2 hip hop acts, right? Or they have either one hip hop act and some like R&B, some singer, right? Or they put a collaboration together. I'm interested to see if on July 4th they're cooking up something for a potential big act.
They bring Kendrick or somebody or bring some. I doubt it, but I'm just saying.
Kendrick too big for that.
He
came.
He busy now, but I'm just saying if you bring somebody of that stature, or somebody that big, and it's hip hop, then I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna go back to the back for this year, but I'll be back talking.
833-212-1017. That voice that you are hearing is Dame LZ. Yes, the Dame LZ, who well known around Milwaukee, part of Black Elephant Group,
Yes, sir.
who performed at Summerfest. As he is reacting, as somebody who is in the music scene, put on the Hip Hop Week assisted with that in the city of Milwaukee, where they brought great acts. I remember my brother was like, "We should go see Jada Kids." I mean, Jada Kids cold.
You missed it if you didn't come.
Yeah,
it was an excellent.
It was Thursday
packed.
night.
It was hot in there as it is in this studio right now.
It is hot in this studio, and it's only going to get hotter because we talked about Summerfest. Shout out to Summerfest. But also coming up on the other side, you have two individuals who are born and raised in Milwaukee who are passionate about mentoring the youth or passionate about seeing the youth have great opportunities and are passionate about the city of Milwaukee. And we both have something to say. Now, I know you went to MPS graduation from Riverside.
Yep, MPS all my life.
MPS, I didn't go to MPS. I went to another school district, but I have family who worked in MPS. I personally worked in MPS. I worked in the after-school program with the CLC, COA program from the age of 14 all the way to the age of 23. I also went to summer school in MPS, and then on top of that, I was a substitute teacher in MPS. So I'm passionate about the district that impacts students that look like me, right? And I want the best for those students. But unfortunately, with the decision that was made of who they hired as the superintendent, I feel like we're going to have the same old. And when we get to 3 years from now, 4 years from now, we're going to be talking about how our students continue to be failed and how we have a failed person running our district. So we're going to talk about how MPS, again, I believe the board has failed the students with their selection of who they chose for the superintendent. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because, again, like I tell you, Dane, one thing about me, I got my notes here.
I see that.
I got my notes.
You prepared.
Listen, I come with notes and facts and articles because what I know is that a lot of us, we just look at headlines, read articles, but we don't dig deep. I take nothing at surface level, right? Anybody that I vote for, anybody I support, I want to go dig deep, a little bit deeper, because everybody have a past, good or bad.
Yesterday, when you hit me with the topic, I hadn't been following it. I'm going to be honest. But I did enough research yesterday to form my opinion off of some quotes and things that I had seen that was like, okay, this is the person I would have picked, or this is the person I wouldn't have picked off top.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's what you got to do.
I think MPS is afraid of accountability. MPS is afraid of radical change, and MPS is staying with the status quo. And we will tell you exactly what MPS did and how they failed the students coming up next. Keep it locked. You're listening to 101.7 The Truth. Also, make sure you watch and stream us live, 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. If you have any thoughts or comments about the selection of who MPS has chosen for their new superintendent or what you believe MPS should do moving on, call us 833-212-1017. But this is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace and our guest co-host for today, Dame LZ.
More of Truth to Power is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Milwaukee Black Talk.
The white friends that I have, especially the ones that I'm very, very close to, they all have something in common. They're all incredibly well-traveled. And when you are stuck in the United States, you are stuck in the institutions and the culture and the groupthink of the United States. And if you are white, a lot of that culture and a lot of that groupthink is don't hang out with black people. Don't be friends with black people. Judge black people. Be very stereotypical of black people.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
I walk on the shoulders of giants who have come before me.
I am grateful for those who changed yesterday.
But I live in today.
And I pledge I will help shape tomorrow.
Milwaukee College Prep Scholars honor Black History Month not just during February, but each and every day they walk through the door, preparing for a better life for themselves and the world around them. Enroll your scholar at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
A Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
I can't ice your arm. I can't ice your charm. I could get your cocoa, but that photo sent you home.
Truth Nation, tune in to the award-winning 1017 The Truth Business Spotlight this Thursday at 3:57 p.m. between the Tory Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be speaking with Ray Walker III, Sales Director at Great Impressions Graphics and Printing. Ray will discuss how they became the go-to printing company in Milwaukee over the last 26 years and why they go above and beyond to satisfy their customers. So again, tune into the Business Spotlight with a Milwaukee staple, Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, this Thursday at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Brother Z, who is that you playing right there?
Offset. There it is. Look, you like it?
No.
Oh, no.
Don't nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody want to hear Offset without the Migos, without the other ones.
Wow.
Don't nobody want to hear
R.I.P.
that.
Take off.
He ain't. Nobody came to see you, Otis.
I like Offset. That's the one that was married to Cardi B. Cheated on Cardi. He's trash, but I mean he's toxic. But you know what?
Bring Cardi B with him then.
Nah, I mean Cardi B, she too big for all that. She too big to be on the side stage. But 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk, the text line. The voice you just heard was Dame LZ, who is joining myself, Kyle Wallace, here on Truth to Power as our special co-host. You'll hear Dame monthly coming on here twice a month, joining me.
Yeah, whenever you need me,
on
bro.
1017 The Truth. So very, very, very excited about that. But make sure y'all watch and stream us live on YouTube because we got to talk about the superintendent here, the selection for MPS. Now, Dame, I don't know when you saw the news, but
Hold up, though. Before you go into that and the seriousness of what you're about to discuss, make sure y'all also tune in to YouTube so y'all can see my brother Kyle Wallace's shirt.
What about my shirt? It's power to the people, Black History
To
Month.
my people of my generation, he has on a Gordon Gartrell.
I don't know who Gordon is. I don't know who Gordon Gartrell is, but I know I like it.
You need to tune in to YouTube and see my brother's shirt. We definitely would have rocked this with some cross colors or something back in '92.
You know what I love about it is have all 4 of the Pan-African colors, right? Because yellow is a mixture of it.
It was like your Black History Month
That's
shirt.
what it is. You got the green, the black, the red, and also the yellow as well, because yellow is a mix into some of the Pan-African as well. So I love it. I love it. So this is shout out to Black History Month.
Shout out to hey, you know what I want to say?
Gordon Gartrell.
Listen,
whoever that is.
There was Kevin Garnett was talking to the host of TNT one time, and you know the dude that used to wear all the funny suits.
Yeah,
and he told him to burn it. You might want to burn that.
Burn the shirt,
brother. See, I told him to burn it.
That's hilarious. I whip it. I only whip it out once in a while. So my Gordon Gartrell shirt. But make sure y'all go to 1017 The Truth to see my Gordon Gartrell shirt that I got on, according to Dame LZ. But we're going to get serious here. And so, big news is the former superintendent of Boston Public Schools. Yes, Boston Public Schools. That's a key note. That's why I got to say it, because that's where she had been. Boston Public Schools has been named the Milwaukee Public Schools' next superintendent. The MPS board announced it has selected Brenda Cassellius as its choice after just over an hour and a half of closed session Tuesday. The board members voted 8-1 to approve. Cassellius and Daryl Jackson is the only one to cast an opposing vote. So with that, she was chosen over Joshua Starr, who was a former superintendent of Montgomery County Public Schools in Maryland, and Andre Townsell, who is currently a superintendent of Calvert County Public Schools, which is also in Maryland as well. With this selection, they're choosing her, and the board thought they had 3 excellent candidates. I did think they did their best to attract some talent, but I think overall we should definitely be asking questions about accountability and about what the expectations should be, right? Because at the end of the day, this is the person who's in charge of making sure that the black students and the white students and Hispanic students and Asian students, but the one that comes to my mind first are the students that look just like me, is making sure that these students are going to be as successful as possible. So, Dame.
Yes, sir.
The reason why I am disappointed in the selection of Miss Brenda is simply because I feel like they went with the status quo, right? When I hear people talk about the fact that she was raised by a single mother, that's one of the first things she said when she was in the open forum.
Or she is a single mother.
No, I think she was raised by a single mother. I believe she was raised by a single mother, what I saw. And
so was I.
And so the thing is that for me, I feel like that's trying to connect with the audience.
Trying too hard.
That's exactly. It's a pandering effort. You know, like when Hillary Clinton was talking about, I keep hot sauce in my bag, right? Were you trying to pander? Do you think she goes to, let's just say, the Shorewood School District right down the street from us, or the Brookfield School District, right? Does she go to the Brookfield School District and one of the first things she says in her interview is that I was raised by a single mother? Is that something that comes out of her mouth? No. The first thing that should be coming out your mouth should talk about what are my credentials and how have I progressed. I looked at some of the issues that MPS has had, and based off the issues that you all had and the obstacles that you have, I faced these challenges before. When I was in Boston, we were able to increase this. You know, we were able to close the achievement gap that way. We were able to make sure we turned in stuff on time. Like, those are the things that I want to hear. I don't want to hear an emotional connection whatsoever, because emotional connection with MPS and talking about, exactly. It got us to the point where we have somewhat constant turnover. It seems like every 4 to 7 years. I think William Andrikopoulos might have been the one who was the longest tenured in the last 25 years as the superintendent. But other than that, we just, keep turning over and turning over and turning over. And unfortunately, I think that we have somebody who we chose that is not going to challenge the status quo, and we're going to continue to see turnover, which for me means that the students in the school do not benefit from the selection of her.
That was my initial thought as I looked up everything last night, and so it's fresh in my mind right now. So I got a lot to say. So it's fresh in my mind as I looked up everything, and I looked up the resumes of the candidates and how they presented themselves. The first thing that jumped out to me about Brenda Castellanos, I may have butchered her name.
Listen, I don't speak whatever it is. That's all.
And no disrespect. But the first thing that jumped out is the way that she's moved around the country, working these different jobs.
Minnesota, and she was in Boston.
She was in Memphis. The way she's and each tenure has been 2 or 3 years, right? And even in Boston, she was there 2 or 3 years, then she re-signed the contract. But even after getting those extra 2 years, for whatever reason, there was there
was a separation agreement that they came to.
Separation agreement.
So I'm not going to legally say she was fired or that she was told that she was going to leave, but there was a separation agreement.
There was a separation agreement after she had just signed a contract to be extended. So what happened? Why did she leave this job?
And that's what I want to know, too. And I got information to tell you why.
As a black man and as a black parent of children who have all gone through MPS, I want to know why. Because that is the number one problem with that job is the turnover rate. Because to fix Milwaukee public schools, it's going to take time. You're going to have to give somebody time. They're going to need to be there for an extended amount of time to fix what. And if you're only there for 2 years, 3 years, you're not fixing nothing. You're just getting a check.
See, my thing is the reason why I believe that this MPS failed the students at the board, specifically the board. And I honestly think Truth Nation right now, we got to get rid of everybody on the board. Like, when the election come up, we got to make sure we vote. Matter of fact, election day is coming up next Tuesday. Make sure we get out and vote. But when it comes to this board, the board is looking for status quo. The board is looking for the person that can be controlled the most. The board is not always working in the best interest of students. And the thing that frustrates me the most, right, and the reason why I supported a different person who was a finalist, and I have no say, is because I wanted somebody to talk about the real issues. Because what I'm sick of, Dane, is I'm sick of us coddling and babying people, right? I'm sick of us making excuses for poor parenting, right? Because at the end of the day, our students, right, we have way too many success stories in Milwaukee public schools. You are a success story from Milwaukee public schools. DJ Brother Z is a success story from Milwaukee public schools. Carrie Noni Juice is a success story from Milwaukee public schools. Tori Love. The problem is that there's more of y'all than there is non-success stories, but we are not doing enough to tell kids, listen, the expectation for this school district is for you to be like DJ Brother Z, for you to be like Dame Elsie, for you to be like Tori Lowe, for you to be like Carrie Noni. I feel like the expectation is, well, we got to care about all this stuff they got going on. I understand there's other circumstances that impact how well a student can do. But when you tell a student when they come to school that you are a young king, you're a young queen, you are going to be successful because you have a bright future, that's when kids all of a sudden start believing in themselves. And I feel like too often we are coddling the parents and making excuses for why they aren't successful. If you decide that you are going to have a child, right, you need to understand the most important thing is to set that kid up for their future to have a better future. And academics and education is the key in the nobody. And my grandpa told me this. My grandpa was a sharecropper. He grew up as a sharecropper, born in the 1920s. And what he always told me, he had a 5th grade education. He wrote scribble, right? I could see it, but you could barely understand it. And he told his daughters, he told his son, he told his grandchildren, get your education because that's something they cannot take away from you. Absolutely. This is what he told me at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10. Whenever I talked about school, listen, Kyle, whatever you do, get your education because they cannot take that away from you. And that's coming from a sharecropper who only had a 5th grade education because it was more important for him and his family, for him to get out in the field to help earn a living for the family, than him to get an education, right? So he had to work hard for his kids, but he saw how important the education was, how important knowledge was. And so that's where I look at, we too often are holding our kids to a lower standard of just getting by instead of having them excel and succeed. And bringing in Brenda Casilius, who I'm going to tell you about her resume and her background of why I don't want her to be our superintendent. I'm going to explain to y'all why I believe that she was a bad choice, because I don't think she's going to hold our students accountable. I think she's going to coddle, hold hands, and act like we ain't got issues. 833-212-1017. Dame, you got a real quick response before we get to the call?
Yeah, I just want to say this. I agree with everything that you're saying, and I come from a family where education has been we have been taught education is your passport to your future, right? And so my sister's got a law degree, my mother's got 6 degrees, I got 2 degrees, our children all got degrees, and so
your daughter in law school, ain't she?
My daughter's graduating law school this year. So we have been taught that, and all of these products, all of the people I'm speaking of are from MPS. My mother used to teach in MPS, so there's hope there. It can be there if we just have to bring it to the forefront and make sure that we bring it up in everyone. And I don't know if Brenda C is the person that's going to do that.
That is my issue, because there's a lot of things that need to be done. But 833-212-1017, that's the Truth Talk to text line. We are talking about the selection of Brenda Casilius as the new superintendent of Milwaukee Public Schools. Nicole, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts about the new superintendent at MPS?
Yeah, thank you so much for accepting my call. And I got to say this, you guys are speaking the truth. My issue with it all is MPS has root rot, right? Until we get down and fix that root rot, you're going to continue to put Band-Aids over cancer. And selecting this new superintendent has done exactly that. It's putting Band-Aid on top of cancer. So the biggest thing is, now you hit it, is like it's the school board, because we tend to forget who that school board works for, who they represent. They represent their constituents. And if you only had one school board member that voted against this new superintendent and the rest was for it, that means that the rest are really for, right, the status quo. Nothing is going to change. So until you get those school board members have to go. They got to go. They got to go, because right now I honestly feel sitting on that school board is not about making sure that the kids get the best education or they get the best educational experience. It's really a self-fulfilling prophecy. They get on those boards and they get on those boards and they get status from that, because they get on one board, they serve on other boards across the city, and they're not serious about making sure these kids are getting what's necessary. So until that is broken down to its very last compound, I don't know how things are going to change. You're going to see the same. I'm an MPS alum. My children are MPS alum, and right now my daughter is an MPS teacher. And I'm going to tell you this. There are so many things that's currently wrong with what's happening, and there's no sense of urgency with any of it, right? There's no sense of urgency with any of it. You don't hear it from the board. You're not hearing it. You're not hearing it from administration. You're not hearing it from anywhere. People are sitting down and they're covering their behinds and they're pointing fingers. Putting this new lady in there, and I'm telling you this, I'm just gonna be honest with you. If she's there to really not only coddle and hold hands, but also chummy with the teachers union, you're not gonna get any change. You're not gonna get any change. So we gotta stand up and you gotta get rid of those school board. We gotta put people in that's really from the bottom.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. And
she said, break it down to the last compound. She's quoting hip hop lyrics. She was feeling herself.
I love it. And the thing is, we're gonna go to break here. But the thing is this: is that I am for public education. I am a supporter of MPS because I'll tell you one thing: there are some good charter schools around Milwaukee, right? There are some, but if you look at the history of all these schools that come and go, and I would never forget how Universal School, remember that school?
Yeah.
And when they came, they had some issues that happened, and I'll never forget how the school just like closed in the middle of the school year. And where do those kids go? Yeah. They got to go to MPS, right? And so I am for MPS because they educate students that look like me, and that's so important. We're going to talk about this more. And on the other side, Dame, I got some research I want to share, right?
Let's get it.
Because, I dig deep. I don't just talk because it's opinion. I base my opinions based off of facts. So 833-212-1017. I see y'all text. Make sure y'all keep texting in. 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Watch and stream us live. See my Gartrell. What's his name?
Gordon Gartrell.
Gordon Gartrell. Alliteration.
Yeah, his brother's Gordon Gartrell.
Gordon Gartrell shirt on 1017 Truth on the YouTube. But on the other side, I'm going to tell y'all some facts and some background about Miss Cassellius. And then also, because I do a little digging, there is a nice little article that I found online in a video that's going to share a little bit about her separation agreement that she had and how parents felt about the progress she was making with their students. So keep it locked. You're listening to Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth with Kyle Wallace and my guest co-host, Dame LZ.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at WeEnergies.com. We Energies. People you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Bucks are back to work tonight. They'll look to get in the win column in the last game before the All-Star break. They'll take on the Timberwolves in Minnesota. Tip time set for 7 p.m. Over to college hoops, where the 18th ranked Marquette Golden Eagles got back into the win column with the 68-58 win over DePaul on Tuesday night.
Marquette the other way. Stevie Mitchell, the full 94. Hank shoots, has it blocked, got it back, and laid it up and in. And Marquette's lead is 10. That's the Stevie Mitchell everyone knows.
With the win, Marquette improving to an overall record of 20-6. And lastly, some baseball news as the season officially here as the Milwaukee Brewers pitchers and catchers reporting today in Arizona. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
You'll hear this guy, Boss Man D-Lo, at Summerfest. I'm telling you, I'm about vibes. This is a vibe.
Let me tell you, I like Boss Man D-Lo. I mess with Boss Man.
See, yeah, you got somebody you like at Summerfest. He'll be joining for Summerfest. The
1 out of 100, though.
The voice you hear is Dave LZ, who has joined us today on Truth to Power. As we were talking about, Milwaukee Public Schools have selected a new superintendent. Brenda Cassellius has been selected as the superintendent. They will now negotiate a contract, looking for her to be able to start July 1st of 2025. Now, on the other side, we were talking about just our initial reaction to it, Dame. And like I told you, I did my research, right? I did all my research about this individual, Brenda, and I tried to be fair. And I looked at all these different candidates. I'll be honest, when I saw Andre Thompson, the young black dude, the first thing I thought was, do we really need a young person, right? Like, I was like, I don't really want somebody young. But I went in there, I did my research, and I realized that young brother was the one that he's the future, right? I think he might be like late 30s or early 40s. Mm-hmm. I said, you know what? His success track record and his accountability track record, that's the guy that I want, right? And so when I took a look at Brenda Cassellius'
Before you jump off Townsend, let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
The thing that I liked about the brother,
let me know,
was his one quote. Townsend said the district central office should be a support to building principles and not be a place to lay low and get comfortable. That statement alone, he was here for 2 days, and he recognized the issue and was already had a plan to fix it.
And that probably scared the school board, central office as well.
Not to cut you off, brother, but that scared.
That I think that's a great point of somebody who came in and was like, well, there might be a little bit of change, and they ran away from that change. Yep. See, when I look at this, is that they chose someone who had an opportunity in Brenda Cassellius to turn around a district in Boston, but she was not able to successfully do that, right? Like, she claims she has expertise in doing and working with school districts like this, but show me the data and show me the numbers that you actually were able to do that. And that's something that she cannot do. And so what bothers me the most is that when the school board, to me, I felt like they interviewed her, but they didn't dig deep, right? They didn't actually try to find more information about her. And I think they did a disservice to our community by simply allowing a resume in an in-person interview to decide who you're going to select. Because when you are talking about someone who is going to work with over 70,000 students, you're talking about somebody who's going to lead the largest school district in the state of Wisconsin, you need to be looking into their background. See, and the problem I have is that if they were to look into her background, I find it interesting. We talked about the separation agreement, right, Dane?
Let's talk about it.
But I find it interesting is that part of the separation agreement, it was agreed that when they call about a reference or a referral, the only thing the Boston Public School District would give was the dates that she worked. They could not talk about how well she did. They can't talk about her background. All they can say is the dates that she worked. So that right there already turned me off just overall about her. But then when you start looking a little bit deeper in some things, you know, there was an article that was done based off a state report when I did some research. And the state report said that her district, when they were given, they had to give a report on some of the information that happened in the schools. They gave inaccurate and misleading information on things like this: graduation rates of students, dropout rates of students, school renovation projects actually being completed, buses getting to school and picking up students on time, or buses actually picking up students at all. These are things that they reported to the state falsely. They falsely and misled the state in trying to say that their graduation numbers were higher than what they were. The dropout lowers were lower than what they were. School renovation projects like bathrooms, they said there were 29 bathrooms in schools that had renovation projects that they claimed were completed, and they were not completed. They did not tell the truth about whether or not buses were picking up and dropping off kids on time, or even picking up or dropping off kids at all. That is mismanagement at its finest.
The most important point that you just mentioned is the graduation rates. Now, when I looked her up, that's what they tout on her resume, is the fact that she raised the graduation rates in Boston and in Minnesota when she was over DPI in Minnesota. But what you're saying is your research shows that those numbers are inflated.
Yep.
So that fact that they used that's probably what the MPS board used as a reasoning for hiring her, was the fact that she raised the graduation rates. And we understand the graduation rates in Wisconsin and Milwaukee are bad for black people across the board, right? So they think, okay, we're going to hire her. She's going to raise the graduation rates. We're going to have to be able to point at something.
And this is all according to Boston Public Radio article in 2022, where it says a state reporter may describe Boston Public Schools as struggling and criticize the district for releasing inaccurate data on school bus time arrival rates, bathroom renovation rates, and graduation and dropout rates. That is from Boston Public Radio. This ain't just me coming up with stuff. This is from Boston Public Radio, from an article written in 2022, and I'll give you the exact date. It was June 28th, 2022, and it was updated August 9th, 2023. So this ain't Miss Me.
As you were talking, I'm like, I thought I read her graduation rates. You know, I was going to give her credit for it, but I'm glad I didn't say that
it's
yet.
Called reading,
you're dropping it
It's called reading the resume and not actually doing a little bit of digging. And again, this is just Kyle Wallace doing like an hour of digging. And the thing is, you know what, Dane? Is had they did a little bit more research, they would have found something. They would have found that she and MPS have something in common. You know what they have in common?
What they got in common?
Is that they both have in common the fact that they miss important deadlines. You know how MPS miss important deadlines? Well, let me tell you something about Miss Brenda Caselius. Miss Brenda Caselius, and it might be something that's minor, but it still shows the inability to meet deadlines, and that's something that has struggled and hurt this MPS.
Not only does it show the inability to meet deadlines, as a public relations, you would think MPS would be like, let's stay away from the person that we just got our own issues with missing some deadlines. Let's not bring in the person who missed getting their certificates to teach or to run a district renewed. Let's not get that person, because that don't make us look good. Because we just had our own issues.
We did, and according to the WBUR newsroom, Boston Superintendent of Schools Brenda Caselius' license to operate the school system has expired. Her license to operate the school system has expired. The deadline for the superintendent to take the state certification exam and get a new license was last Saturday, according to the Boston Globe, which has now lapsed. And you know what she said?
She later on went and got it, but it don't matter.
But wait a minute. She later on and got it, but you know what she said? She said she asked would she be able to take it next week. She also reached out to the state education official to see if she can continue to operate in her role until she can take the test. What in the hell is going on? Yeah. You mean to tell me you are the superintendent of a school district where kids have to take tests, right? They have exams.
The kids to be responsible.
But you can't be responsible.
You asking the kids to turn their homework in on time. To bring up their reading scores, to graduate on time, but you can't do the stuff that you're supposed to be doing on time.
How is that possible?
Come on, man.
That's what frustrates me, is that if you do a little bit of research, if somebody can't turn their homework in time, if somebody can't even get a license in order to do their damn job, literally, she did not have the proper certification for a small period of time.
It don't matter.
To be able to do her job, she had to ask to be able to continue to do her job because she failed to do what she was supposed to do. And this is the person you want me to praise? 833-212-1017. I see y'all chat. I'm just saying, y'all can do your own research. This is just me giving the facts and giving my opinion on your facts. And Kathy, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Let me know your name, or let me know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, Kathy.
That's okay.
And also, please turn your radio down.
Yeah, I turned it off.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
so what
this is Kathy. Hello.
Yes, Miss Kathy. What are your thoughts here on this conversation?
You know, you're reading my head. I was listening to the news yesterday, and they did say there were some inconsistencies with the kids graduating. And when you do a resume, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of places, big companies are asking for an application also. So the application breaks down all the stuff where she lives at, this and this. And then we like to see a copy of her review. She has a copy of her review, her report and her review. And then she can let us know why they didn't tender her again either and let her go. But she needs to give us a copy of her review. But I don't want her there. I'm like you. We need to see if we can get these parents to say, hey, we don't want her. And I'm like you. The young blood be interesting for some of the kids and see somebody, young like their parents would probably be too. Mm-hmm. But there's just a red flag with that one. I don't know if they don't want to pick a man because they had men before. Have we had a woman superintendent in Milwaukee before?
Darian Driver was the superintendent before Milwaukee, but she left out of here because she said she couldn't deal with how people wouldn't change.
How long was she? 2 years?
I think
that was when she was with Howard Fuller back in the day, right?
No, she came after Superintendent Gregory Thornton, who came, and he came and he left.
Okay, so I just can't figure this out. And my husband, we got to get them out of here. Y'all, this is school board people are up different times. So we need people in y'all neighborhood to run to get these people out of here. And what is her contract after a year, 2 years? What are we paying her? Because you're talking, I'm thinking.
Miss Kathy, I'm not sure what her contract is.
They haven't decided it.
Not yet. They're deciding it. But I can tell you this: when she had her separation agreement after 3 years in the Boston Public Schools, she ended up getting paid $300,000 to leave. That's a big check. That is a huge check. But
and also in that separation agreement, it also said that she couldn't say nothing bad about the Boston Public Schools. They couldn't say anything bad about her, and she got that $300,000.
She sure did get that $300K. On the other side, I'm gonna play a quick little news article that I want y'all to hear because I think it's so important to hear from the community in Boston and what they have to say about their former superintendent. But you're listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace, Dame LZ, our guest co-host. Make sure you watch and stream us live on YouTube, 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button as well. We'll have more and wrap up the show on the other side.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, it's all about the NBA trade deadline with Marcus and Chris. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
One call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. If you or a loved one is ever injured in an accident, do not hesitate to make one call, that's all, because they will truly take care of the rest. And what I love about them, I'm telling y'all, when I made that one call, that's all, they took care of me, man. Like, they gave me a phone call. They let me know everything I need to know. And they said, listen, Kyle, we are going to take care of you. They went after the insurance company. They made sure that I got exactly what I deserved. They also made sure I had my physical therapy appointments. And what I also love about Gruber Law Offices is the fact that you never pay a single penny. You never pay a single cent until they win your case. Yes, you pay nothing until they win your case. Get with the law firm that has been serving the community for over 35 years at Gruber Law Office today by visiting gruber-law.com. That's gruber-law.com, or make one call, that's all, at 414-276-6666. That's 414-276-6666. And I'm telling y'all, tell them Kyle Wallace sent you. Tell them Kyle from 1017 The Truth sent you. They're going to hook you up. They're going to make sure they treat you right. It's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices.
People often wonder, what's the credit union difference? Well, let me tell you what's different about Educators Credit Union. We're more than just a financial institution. We're a team of people who are actively invested in the next generation and in the communities where you live and work. We're in classrooms teaching financial literacy, in neighborhoods building homes and relationships, and in local communities lending a helping hand. We believe when communities thrive, we all thrive. Educators Credit Union, achieving more together, insured by NCUA.
Join the Greater Milwaukee Urban League as it celebrates individuals and organizations whose commitment to equity creates strong partners and strong communities. It's all happening at the annual Equal Opportunity Day Luncheon on Thursday, March 13th at the Pfister Hotel. Greater Milwaukee Urban League will honor local leaders and organizations committed to empowering communities and changing lives. Join us for a special recognition of legendary past President Ralph Holman. For details, sponsorship, and tickets, go to tmul.org.
This monumental moment in Black history is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Educators Credit Union, the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin, and American Family Insurance.
Do you know the writer behind the infamous play A Raisin in the Sun? Well, that's playwright and activist Lorraine Vivian Hansberry, the first Black playwright and the youngest American to win a New York Critics Circle Award. Born in May of 1930 in Chicago, Hansberry was introduced to advocating for Black rights through her parents and their work with the NAACP. In her youth, they faced the hardships of systemized racism when they moved to a white neighborhood and were violently attacked. They refused to relocate but were ordered to by the court in the Hansberry versus Lee case, which later made it to the Supreme Court. Hansberry enrolled at the University of Wisconsin-Madison but dropped out to pursue her writing career in New York City. At the age of 29, Hansberry wrote the infamous play A Raisin in the Sun, which ran on Broadway over 500 times. Sadly, Hansberry died of pancreatic cancer at the young age of 34. Her life and legacy lives on through her written work.
Listen to 1017 The Truth all month long as we celebrate Black History Month. You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It's the Thuggish Ruggers Ball.
Oh, this must be something you like, huh?
No, it's Brother Z being petty.
It's a great song. I don't know why you laugh. It's a great song.
Listen, man. It's a great song, and I enjoy this song.
You heard it too much on 24th in Wisconsin?
Man, I've heard this song so much during the course of my life. It's actually a bad song.
Oh, wow.
In real life. It's not a great song.
Oh, wow.
But I like Bones. It's not one of their best songs.
Oh, wow. That voice you hear there is Dame LZ, who has joined me today on Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace. We have been talking about Milwaukee Public Schools have named Brenda Cassellius as their new superintendent. They will now negotiate an agreement to see how much she gets paid and have a contract. I know, I apologize, y'all. I teased we were going to play an article on the other side, but you know what? I'm going to say that for another day because we're going to talk about this. But it was really good because you got to hear from parents and people who were important in Boston, or I should say people who were impacted in Boston under the tenure of Brenda Cassellius. And so I apologize for not getting to it, but trust me, we're going to play that. So make sure y'all keep tapping in to Truth to Power here on award-winning 1017 The Truth. But Dame, before we get up out of here, I want to hear your final thoughts and your final takeaway from the conversation and any information you got when you did your research.
My final takeaway is that MPS once again rushed it. They didn't do their research. It seems like, because these candidates just came on the 6th and the 7th and were here and walked around. What was yesterday, the 11th?
Yesterday was the 11th,
So in 5 days, they made a decision.
And only one work day. One real work day.
So everyone assumed this wasn't going to happen to the end of February, beginning of March. So they had time to do their research and find out all of this stuff that you're finding out all of this stuff that we're talking about. One important issue that you didn't mention was this group called Youth. It's called Youth on Board, where they did interviews with Black youth in the Boston public school system, and each Boston public school had a representative on this board. Well, apparently these boards went overboard and were pressuring the kids and asking the kids all types of questions that the kids didn't like, to the point where half the kids that were involved in this quit, and it became an issue. They probably was threatening to get sued. That's probably one of the reasons why she's no longer in the Boston public school system, is because she stood behind this Youth on Board mission. So again, we need to know who we are handing the keys to the car to. It's like a coach, right? It's like a coach. If the coach is lost at another spot, why are you going to hire him to be the coach in your spot? You get what I'm saying?
I know.
So if you can't expect to have success where there's only been failure that has followed them. So that's what insanity is, making the same mistake twice, thinking it's going to have a different outcome. You're doing the same stuff and you're thinking it's going to have a different outcome. Insanity.
It's exactly insanity, and I'll let you have that, because for me, I'm just disappointed that MPS decided that they would rather be comfortable, they would rather be cozy, they'd rather have status quo versus bringing in somebody that can actually potentially shake some things up. But I will also say this: though I do not like the selection, I wish her the best of luck.
I want you to be successful.
Yeah, I want her to be successful, because if she is successful, I hope I am wrong, because if she is successful, that means our students are growing.
Right.
The gap is decreasing. More kids are going to be the pipeline of the future workforce of Milwaukee. That's what MPS should be doing. Getting degrees and going on to go to college, going on to get some type of skill, going on to really be the people who are buying houses, buying properties, who are elevating the city of Milwaukee. So that's what I hope eventually happens, but it is to be seen. We'll find out come 2028 if we talking about how awful she is or talking about how wrong Dame and I are. Right. But this has been Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Thank you to Dame Elsie for joining me. We'll see you soon. Thank you all for listening on 1017 The Truth. Also, Tori Lowe shows up next. I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace out, Truth Nation.
Peace. The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Black